Gurur Brahma, Gurur Vishnu, Gurur Devo Maheshwaraha, Guru Sakshat Param Brahma, Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha, Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha, Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. We are looking at verse 127 of Ajnana Khandana of Amrutanubhava, and here we are looking at Drishti. And what is that? The status of seer, seen, and how do they function with each other, etc., is being told. This is the Drishtivad. Drishtivad. ऐसे ही है ना? What was it called? Drashta Drishtivad or Drishti Srishtivad. And in the 126th verse we saw that this magnanimous consciousness, through its seeingness, covers the scene with fresh and new ornaments of the objective world. So where is this seeingness? It is inherent within the consciousness. And is the seen outside the consciousness? Are the waves outside the water? No. Are the pots outside the mud? No. Similarly, are the seen outside the consciousness? No. So just as water covers every wave, similarly the consciousness covers every scene, every form, every name. We are talking about you, the consciousness. This is what is happening. With fresh and new ornaments of the objective world. And what did we say before in the previous verse? That every moment something new is coming up. The forms are changing continuously there. Just like a river is continuously changing, the waves on the ocean are continuously changing. Similarly, what we see, hear, touch, feel, what we think is continuously changing. And every one of that scene, whatever is perceived by us, is covered by the seeingness of the consciousness. And that seeingness is inherent within the consciousness. Consciousness being the eternal seer, the eternal observer. This play of pure consciousness is so great that it presents every moment a series of objective perceptions to the seer every moment. Remember, the seer and seen, they coexist. The consciousness, pure consciousness itself is expressing, manifesting as the seer and seen. And with every scene, the seer is associating himself or disassociating himself. And this is incessantly happening. Then what does the seer say? if we become the individual, the seer, the individual, why this is happening to me, why these problems are coming to me, why the disease is coming to me, why challenges are coming to me, why the obstacles are coming to me. Why? Because the sky is high. He is forgetting that he is the pure consciousness. He is taking a position as the seer with respect to the seen, and he is getting bewildered, overwhelmed by the onslaught of the seen. And because he has not recognized his essential nature, he is not accepting that. Therefore, he feels this is too much, man. This is too much. Life is too much. These thoughts are too much. So to become sane, what we have to do? Take the position of pure consciousness and see that the seer and the seen are just expressions of that one that I am. That will lead to a healthy mind. Then we will not be overindulgent in the seen. Every moment it presents a new ornament or decoration of Drishya Padartha, that is the objective world. And this is, we have talked about it, every moment this is happening, this is taking place. We think it is the same world, but it is not. We think it's the same thought. Oh, Usha. Oh, yesterday also I spoke about Usha. Day before yesterday also I spoke Usha. But it's not the same Usha. It's not the same word. The intonations are different, the expression is different. The tongue has changed thousands of cells from yesterday to today. Usha has changed from yesterday to today, but we think it's the same thing. That's our foolishness. We are superimposing our constancy of pure consciousness on that which is changing. And that's where the misery lies. Get out of it. To get out of it, you have to understand. That's all. Once you are fully convinced of what is being said, then it will start expressing in your life. So the seer never gets bored of seeing the same object twice. We never get tired of seeing the world, seeing the sky, seeing the sunrise, seeing the sunset, seeing the rainbow, seeing the wife, seeing the husband, seeing the children, again, say, we think it's the same. But actually, look how that child is speaking today. Yesterday she could speak only one word, now today 5 words. Yesterday she was only crawling, today she is standing. And we keep because everything is new every moment. We get fascinated by it. In this way, for the seer, beautiful garments and ornaments are made out of the same consciousness. In this way, for the seer, which seer? The one who's aware. Every moment, everything is ever fresh if he is not attached to it. Are made out of the same consciousness. Shuddha Chaitanya, in a most magnanimous way, Udara way. Udarta is big heart, benevolent heart, kind heart, compassionate heart. Pure consciousness, Shuddha Chaitanya is such, it is so kind that it keeps presenting for the seer n number of stimuli for it to interact. Now question is, you have to determine which seer you are. Are you the virtual one? Are you the illusory one? Or are you the constant one? Witnessing consciousness. That will determine your level of happiness. Udara is the quality of the mind which accepts every experience and every individual as they are, as a mirror accepts every object that comes in front of it but retains nothing. So this seer is an intelligent one. He has, so you and me are seer at the moment. This information is coming to you. You are seeing me, I am seeing you, words are coming to you, I am speaking the words, etc., etc., etc. So are we seeing this whole game of teacher and taught, of husband and wife, of spirit and mind, consciousness and mind, of subject and object, as the game of the consciousness, play of the consciousness? Or are we seeing oh, I must be very, very careful, I don't want to miss any word, are we lost in that? Disposition is very important. So the seer accepts everything as it is, without any color, without any judgment, without any biasness, and that is possible only when the seer is not attached. If the seer is attached to the scene, he is the virtual one. He is the virtual seer. If the seer is attached to the scene called the body, he is the illusory one. If the seer is unattached to all objectivity, then he is the eternal one or the witnessing one. So determine where you are. Cue after cue after cue, the scriptures keep giving us. Apply one in your life and live by it. Everything will be over. Or every moment will be a fresh one. Then what does it? It's like a mirror. What is the quality of the mirror? Accept everything, reject nothing, and retain nothing. So the I, the seer, he also accepts every thought, doesn't reject any thought, but does not retain, meaning does not make a memory of any thought. Living every moment fully, full awareness. And that is not possible if your attention is on what is coming. If your attention is on this fact that one consciousness alone is expressing as the seer in the scene, and that consciousness I am, then this alertness will come. You have to be fired up with that. Chalo, aise bhi so. Let's think like this and see. We have thought the other way for so many decades now. Let's give this a go. Let's see what is the experience. In the 127th OV, the relationship between the Drashta and Drishya is taken up. The relationship between the seer and the seen is taken up. Magiliye kshanichi ange parusi manoni vege sanduni drishtirge naviya rupa. The seer jumps to a new scene, discarding the earlier seen objects. This is a relationship. The I, the seer, it jumps to the next object again and again. Is that not your experience at the moment? If the eyes are seeing, they are not continuously seeing one thing. Suddenly they go to this word, or they go from one word to the next word to the third word to the fourth word, from one page to the next page, or to some object in the room. My attention also, sometimes it goes to myself, sometimes it goes to both, sometimes to Ravi. It keeps changing. It's never on the same person. So the seer, he keeps dropping the dropping the scene and again interacting with the next scene. And this is incessantly going on. The drashta, the experiencer, takes a certain position with reference to a certain object of experience. Then he gets bored of being the drashta with reference to that object. Take it very simply. If you eat sambar rice every day, you will get bored, man. After some 2-3 times you eat, after that you want, no, 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 no. Let me have pudiyodari, or let me have dosa, or let me have idli, or let me have chapati. See, when I was had gone to London, I don't know what they feel, but every house you go, they make matar paneer. Every house. पागल हो गया मटर पनीर खा के. I said, I want only vegetables. I don't want paneer anymore. Once, twice, thrice. Imagine every lunch, every dinner, matar paneer. So we want variety. I want variety. It gets bored with the same thing again and again. That's why divorces happen. That's why we travel. That's why we want to change houses. See? On one hand, it gives you a sense of comfort, but at the same time, the excitement of I know I got comfort in my house, but थोड़ा दिन के लिए ठीक है. But after some time, we want to go to India, we want to go to Europe, we want to go to Tasmania, we want to go to Uluru, we want to नहीं कुछ there should be change, then we are fresh. Similarly, every day we are going to work, we get up in the morning, we do our chores, we go to work, we come back, and 2-3 times a week we have a satsang. That refreshes us. Change. Why don't you develop the ability to see that every moment is a new one? Every person, it may be the same person who has come to you, but he's a fresh one. He's not the same person as yesterday. Do you have the eye to see that? Accept it. That is only possible if we are not judging. Then he gets bored with being the drashta with reference to that object. It becomes stale, it becomes impure. Then both the drashta bhav and the drishya bhav are rejected, and a new trio of seeing is created. This is happening at this moment also. Because the seer and seen cannot exist independent of each other. Remember this. Just like this tripod stand which is holding the camera, it cannot stand on 2 legs. It needs the 3. If you take the 1 leg out, the whole thing will collapse. That's exactly what happened. And why does it happen? Boredom. That's the common word for all the kids nowadays. I'm bored, I'm bored, I'm bored. कब तक वही 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 वही. So the man runs to the pub because of boredom at home. The man runs to Kailash maybe for the love of Kailash or maybe to run away from home. I don't know which one. बहुत हो गया रोज 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 वही लेक्चर इफ आई डोंट लाइक द रूटीन चेंज वी वांट टू रन अवे समवेयर वी वांट टू गो अवे समवेयर because what does routine do? Make you get bored. If you are not inspired with the discipline of the routine, then you'll get bored. But here we are going even further. We are saying that this is an inevitable fact that the trio come, the trio stay, the trio go. Again the next trio come, the seer seen seeing come, the hear heard hearing come, the taster tasted tasting come, the experiencer experienced experiencing come, the knower known knowing come. It's just changing continuously. The trio are coming. What is that trio? Your thoughts. Observe in yourself right now. Continuously it's happening. A new trio of seer seen seeing is created. In this way, the eternal game of seer seen seeing, experiencer experienced experiencing, the waker waking world and waking experience, dreamer dream world dream experience is going on. This is the truth. This is incessantly going on. Can anything be done about it? Nothing. What about realization? After realization, they will still be going on. Don't worry. It's a phenomena. Phenomena because it is coming and going. But what are we looking it at as? That pure consciousness itself is expressing as the seer seen seeing. We want a more wholesome approach to it. We are not rejecting anything. We are here to catch the principle. Before we have said the principle was it is temporary. It is coming and going. What? Each trio is coming and each trio is going. Here what is our attention on? That the pure consciousness itself is appearing as the trio. It's a different take. Nothing can happen outside consciousness, pure consciousness. The pure consciousness itself has become the subject, itself has become the object, and itself has become the instrument of knowledge. The pure consciousness itself has become the waker, the subject, waking world, the object, and the waking experience due to the waking instruments, which are body, breath, mind, intellect. देखो, एक्सेप्ट कर लो, डिफॉल्ट में मत रहो. डोंट लिव एट डिफॉल्ट लेवल. एक्सेप्ट दिस. अबाउट योरसेल्फ. When was there a time, O Arjuna, when these men whom you are reluctant to fight against, or you or I, did not exist? Krishna is telling Arjuna in the second chapter. Nor will there be any time when they cease to exist. This pure consciousness that I is, where is the question of the fear of losing anything? One can never lose the consciousness. Then what is this crying when someone dies? Because that person who's crying is crying out of the loss. First he was attached to it, now he has lost what he was attached to. Therefore the crying is happening. That person's attention is not on the pure consciousness expressing as the husband and wife. then it will be a totally different relationship. The who is crying, it's not the pure consciousness which is crying. It is not the I which is crying. It is the virtual I which is crying. Why? What will happen to me now? I don't have this. I don't where she's gone. I don't know. It was such a wonderful life for 40, 50, 60 years. Now I'm alone. I don't wish to live. What is life worth living? Is life worth living without my partner? What is all this? Attachment. And what is the truth? If you can observe it right now, that the trio are appearing and disappearing, appearing and disappearing. So if everything is appearing and disappearing, where is the attachment possible, man? This attachment is only an imagination. No attachment possible, because everything, every thought, every breath, every vision, every smell, every taste is coming and going. Every waking, every dream, every sleep, coming and going. Nothing is permanent. So where is the question? How can you be attached to anything? How can you be attached? Who is attached? The virtual one. Lage raho phir. The ocean does not gain by the birth of a new wave, nor does it lose anything when the wave dies. Ocean continues to be complete. Ocean continues to be full. Ocean continues to be abiding in his own existence. Then where is the wave happening on the ocean? Only on the periphery. What is the status of the wave? Insignificant compared from ocean's point of view, because the amount of area which the wave occupies in the ocean is insignificant to the total waters in the ocean. So this wave of seer, seen, seeing, waker, waking world and waking experience and so on, these are waves of thoughts. Each thought is having these three components. What is the status of these thoughts? Insignificant. From what point of view? From pure consciousness point of view. So if for us the world has become important, business has become important, past has become important, future has become important, survival has become important, fear has become important, children, grandchildren have become important, health has become important, what has happened? We have forgotten we are the pure consciousness. जरा सोचिए, think differently. Attachment is a misnomer. Nothing is attached to anything ever possible. The truth is Purnam, complete. Purnamada, Purnam. From the whole becomes manifest, and when the whole is negated, what remains is again the whole. The whole is the ocean, WHOLE. Whole is the ocean. Out of that, waves become manifest. And because wave have become manifest, ocean has not become less. Ocean is still continuing to be the complete ocean. It has no sense of loss because waves have appeared. And it has got no sense of gain when the waves merge back into the ocean. That ocean of consciousness, we are, I am. I have not become less if a trio of thoughts have come, and I have not become more if they have gone back. How liberating it will be. Or it is. Why it will be? It is. In one sentence, you are sorted. If we can apply, if we can accept that that is what I am, and not get lost in the thoughts. What they are indicating, be that. That is why material knowledge can never satisfy, and therefore one goes on changing one's position regarding knowership of experience. It is up to you to accept or not. Truth is being told. What is that? That material knowledge can never satisfy. Material knowledge is not only the secular sciences. It is whatever you see, hear, touch, feel, taste, imagine, intellectualize, everything is material knowledge. All thought knowledge is material knowledge. You call it gross, subtle, doesn't matter. It is material. Material means that which is objective in its nature. Material meaning that which comes and goes, that which is finite. It can never satisfy, and therefore one goes on changing. So what is the way we find ourselves? From many thoughts to one thought. And what type of thought do we choose? Which dissolves in its own conclusion. See? Therefore, one goes on changing one's position regarding knowership of experience. And what is this knowership of experience? Sometimes a seer, sometimes a hearer, sometimes a experiencer, sometimes a knower, sometimes a waker, sometimes a dreamer, and keeps changing his position. Because only seeing, no, boring हो जाता है यार. Only hearing, नहीं boring हो जाता है. Only listening, after some time bored. And then to justify that boredom, our attention span is only for 45 minutes. Swamiji, why do you take 1.5 hour class? And they say it so sincerely. What can you do but smile and laugh? And yet, one doesn't get bored when you sleep for without a thought single pointedly for 3, 4, 4, 5, 5, 7, 7, 10 hours. It's the same thing repeating for 10 hours and you don't get bored. And from with a satsang you get bored, is it? देखो. No knowledge goes on changing one position regarding knowership of experience, discarding one and going after another. That is our observation. No knowledge gained in the material world can give kritakrutyata or fulfillment. Kritakrutyata means fulfillment. But one must come to this disposition in his life to begin the spiritual journey, to go dive deep inside or to go beyond the thought You have to come. I have done what had to be done. I have spoken what I have to be what was to be spoken. Enough. I thought that had to be thought. Enough. That enough. Alam. It must come sometime in our life. Then you will fall back into your original position. Otherwise, continuous involvement, not knowing where it is taking us. And continuous involvement is never going to fulfill you. So, when our attention is on the change meaning the triputi continuously coming and going, it can never give you the kritakrutyata bhav. It will never be able to give you the satisfaction of having gained, having being fulfilled, of being content. Only when we come to our original position, only when we take the position of total consciousness, universal consciousness, pure consciousness, like the ocean of consciousness, that I am, then there is kritakrityata. Then it does not matter waves are there or not there, because I'm not interested. Why I'm not interested? Because I alone am everything. Why should I give attention only to one? The mind does not give attention to any individual sense. The mind is functioning through all the five senses. The consciousness does not give attention to the seer or the seen or the instrument of knowledge. The consciousness is expressing through all three, as all three. The mind is expressing through all the five senses. Each sense is expressing through or going and enveloping every one of its stimuli. Not one, everything. All sounds it envelops. All forms the eyes envelop. No knowledge gained in the material world can give us kritakrityata or fulfillment. Only that knowledge is worth seeking and gaining, having gained which there remains nothing more to be gained in this life. As long as we are running after the triputi, there is no end of wanting. And by the time you want it and you think you have almost caught it, it slips out of your hand and then you shift your attention to the next want. This is not being told to confuse you. Observe, this is what is happening with you at this moment in your daily life. This is the Nachiketa question. Having gained which there remains nothing more to be gained in this life. He asked, to the Lord Yama, what is that by knowing which there is nothing remains to be known? That was his question. Here it is in Bhagavad Gita, it's saying, having gained which there is nothing else remaining to be gained. So, simple question, are we running after the thoughts? Are we running after the triputis? Are we accepting ourselves as a Triputi? Or in spite of the Triputis, that means the waves of thoughts, I continue to have the disposition, I am the ocean of consciousness. I am the pure consciousness. And in me, all the thoughts are appearing and disappearing. And what is the thought? Thought alone is the creation. So the entire creation is appearing and disappearing in the consciousness that I am. There's no, just like I see you and I determine, hey, this is Usha. For this statement, there is no answer. But you have to think of that impossible. What will happen as a result of this contemplation? The individual will vanish. Individual will vanish. And in its place, the witness or the total or the infinite will reveal. But we have to continuously come to that disposition where no conclusion is created. I am that ocean of consciousness, which alone is expressing as every seer seen seeing, every hear heard hearing, not only of this body, but of everything and everyone. One master has said, 3 seconds you have to hold that thought. That's all. It's all over. 3 seconds. Fully, 100%. That knowledge of our essential being leads to effortless existence, not the objective perception of seer seen seeing, which keeps changing every moment in an endless parade on the substratum of pure consciousness. What the parade of the Triputi, parade of the thoughts, parade of the experiences, parade of the waker, dreamer, sleeper states of waking, dream, and deep sleep. This parade is going on. In that one waking experience, imagine how many thoughts are going on. Fall back into the original position with correct understanding. The thought begun in OV 123 is now concluded. तैसीच प्रतीक्षणी जाणीवेची लेणी लेवऊनी आणि जाणतेपणा. In this manner, from moment to moment, the Atman becomes the knower by wearing the ornaments of knowingness. Oh, see the language, how it is used. In this way, the Atman, from moment to moment, the Atman becomes the knower, wearing the ornaments of knowingness. So Atman himself has become the knower. Knower of what? Knower of name and form. Ornament is the name and form. The gold itself has become the ornament. The water itself has become the wave. The consciousness itself has become the knower. And what is it knowing? The name and form. Knowingness is always of the name and form. So rather than fight with yourself, I'm not the body, I'm not the mind, I'm not the intellect, I'm not this, I'm not that. No, I'm everything. This is Anvay. I'm everything. And then what people make the mistake, or say, I'm everything. He'll look at the whole world. How can I be the wall? How can I be the killer? How can I be the rapist? How can I be the inert land? How can I be the clouds? I can see them. The only way is come back to being the consciousness. That is the only way. Pure consciousness has two aspects, sentiency and knowingness. Now we are going even deeper into the analysis. Pure consciousness has two aspects, sentiency and knowingness. The joys and sorrows of life have their basis not on the sentiency but on the knowingness. Because I have a Apple laptop, I am happy. Because that person cooked the food that I like, therefore I like her, therefore I am happy. Because that person abused me, therefore I dislike that person, therefore I am unhappy. Sentiency is the natural expression of life through something. That is sentiency. Trees are sentient, animals are sentient, birds are sentient, you are sentient. Sentiency is the opposite of insentiency. Insentiency is inertness. Sentiency is a natural expression of life through something. There is no will there. It's just happening. Total will maybe. You did not create life in this body. It's natural, isn't it? But when we have our attention on the experience, on the known, on the object, then the knowingness of that object happens. That knowingness then leads to joys and sorrows, likes and actually it leads to likes and dislikes, raga dvesh. The moment we identify with some object, immediately like or dislike, identification leads to likes and dislikes. There is no other question. And that like and dislike will lead to joy and sorrow. So here it is saying, the joys and sorrows of life have their basis not on the sentiency, but on the knowingness. Therefore, at every moment, beautiful ornaments of knower known knowledge, expression of knowingness, are offered on the pure consciousness. In this way, the world is manifested. How beautiful! Therefore, at every moment, beautiful ornaments of Triputi. So, are we seeing Triputi as a problem, the triad as a problem, or are we seeing it as a glory of the consciousness? Are we seeing as a the wave as a problem, or are we seeing the wave as the glory of the ocean? Are we seeing the ornament as a problem, which is a reason for attachment and identification of mine and yours, and mine is better than yours, etc., etc., or your attention is on the ornament as the glory of the gold? So are we seeing every form in this world? How do you know every form in this world? Only by way of thought. So are we seeing the play of the triad, the knower known knowing, the seer seen seeing, etc., etc., or even the waker waking world and waking experience. This is also triad. Are we seeing all the triads as the glory of the consciousness? Glory of that consciousness? देखो फिर कितना मजा आएगा. Now there is nothing to run away from. There is nothing to discard. By taking this position, you have discarded the attachment. By taking this position, you have discarded the identification. The identification was possible only between the subject and the object. But now we have taken one step back and we are looking at the subject object itself as the manifestation of the consciousness that I am, in essence. Thus far, Jnaneshwar Maharaj has explained that the Atma Tattva is one without a second, where even the reference of one is a blemish. We can't even say it is one. We can't say it is a. No word can touch it, basically. In which the game of knower known knowing is eternally going on. This is the Kashmiri Shaivism. Ishvara Advayavad. Advaya means Advaita. Advaita means one without a second. Ishvara knows that. That is his essential nature. How does he know that? Take the position of Ishvara. He is not influenced by the creation. For that, what we have just covered in this chapter, in this verse, is what all the Puranas are talking when they take Narayana as the Lord, the Ishvara, or Ganesha as the Ishvara, or Shiva as the Ishvara. Ishvara's position is this. Ocean's position is this. Ocean is the Ishvara. Wave is the individual. From absolute, you cannot talk anything. In which the game of knower known knowledge is eternally going on. The only way to gain this state is to start looking at the world from the totality point of view, dropping the myopic vision of small petty problems and concerns of relative existence. Now this, God cannot do it for you. You only have to do it. Just to listen what was going on in last 1 hour of satsang, it feels free. Then why consciously choose to again get attached, identified, complain, react, judge? Keep challenging yourself, keep taking the position of the totality, which leads to all inclusiveness. In fact, it leads to the vision that everything is that one alone. Maya tatamidam sarvam jagadavyakta murtina. The only way to gain this state is to start looking at the world from the totality point of view, dropping the myopic vision of small petty problems and concerns of relative existence. In this way, by this adhyaropa abhavad, starting from the conviction that the individual is real, the conclusion has been reached that the experience of knowledge is the reality, not you or I. It is pure knowledge where the duality of knower known is absent. That is one's essential nature. So, are we living continuously knowing something, or we are having a disposition wherein we are the constant? If we give validity to the subject and object, the world will become real. If we take the position that the self alone, the pure consciousness alone is manifesting as the subject and object and the instrument of knowledge, then everything will be a joy, because pure consciousness is Ananda Swarup. Then every thought is a joy, then every thought is a revelation. Of what? Not of the world. Then every thought is a glory of the reality. Every thought is a glory of the self. Beautiful. If this is so, why did Paramatma create this triputi of knower known knowledge at all? Why create the mess and then try to clear it? As if someone created it. But question has been put. Then why did the Paramatma create, Paramatma, the truth, the reality, why did that Paramatma create this triputi, this triad of knower known knowledge at all? Why create the mess? Why create the confusion and then try to solve the confusion? Taya Paramatma diche shesha na kahi taya sukhasa ani hoya evadi kasa kasili zene. The Supreme Self could not bear its oneness of absolute being and thus desired to become many. This is as if. This is, or we can put it, this is how it is. Nothing can be done about it. The singular existence of truth is such that other than the truth nothing else is. But ekam eva advitiyam, one without a second, he was all alone without company. Bhagavan Krishna says, those who reach the ultimate goal of the imperishable truth never come back. That is my supreme abode. That is the state of the constant, that is the state of the pure consciousness, that is the state of the one without a second. We are looking at it from the absolute point of view here, till this part. From absolute standpoint, there is only one, and you can't even call it one. Ekameva dvitiya nanasti kinchana. Sarvam khalvidam Brahma. Everything is Brahman. Other than Brahman, nothing. And you can't even call him Brahman. And therefore it was, here the verse example is given, those who reach the ultimate goal of the imperishable truth never come back. For such people, like we saw in the Kathopanishad also, those who reach, then there is no rebirth for such seekers. They come to abide in the truth as the truth. Brahma samashnute iti. They become free from the cycle of transmigration. That is why it is told. Why? Because it is one. No change is possible in that one. A great saint commented on this thus: do you know why they do not come back? Because if they do, they will discourage others from going there. Huh? Because it is so bored of this solitary existence, the Paramatma thought, let me be many. This was his sankalpa. How can that one without a second have a sankalpa? Why not? He is all inclusive. All possibilities are present within him. To think or not to think is also present within him. So he thought, why can't he think? Or the possibility of no wave and many waves is inherent within the waters. Correct? Similarly, in that one without a second Paramatma, the possibility of becoming many is inherent. And this is just jokingly being said, because it said, the saint said, what? उधर जाके क्या बोर हो गए यार, वहाँ पे कुछ नहीं है, चलो वापस आते हैं. Then what to do? No, Hanumanji didn't want to go to realize. He said, no, for as long as Ram Nam is there in this creation, I will continue to be in this body. I'll serve. I will listen to his glory. But his knowledge, incomparable. He clearly knows, as Atma, I am one with you, O Lord. As the soul, I am a part of you, and as body, I am your servant. No confusion there. But the choice is not to merge. The choice is the joy, the anand, the ras, the ecstasy cannot happen in one without a second. That ecstasy happens only when there is two. Our ecstasy is only temporary. I like this, I don't like that. Hanumanji, he has weaned his mind away from everything and focused on the Sri Ram, and therefore his ecstasy is of a higher quality, which meditators, devotees, those who chant the name of the Lord, they also experience. So here he says, where are we? Because if they do, they will discourage others from going there because it is so boring. So those who have realized the Paramatma, they don't come back. Why? Because there is nothing to talk about. You can only talk about duality. You can only talk about manifestation. But in that Paramatma, there is no, everything is one. What will you talk about? So this Mahatma is saying, therefore they don't come back. Bored of his solitary existence, the Paramatma thought, let me be many. Tired of his oneness, ocean thought, let me be many. So he expressed as many ways. This was his sankalpa. Aitreya Upanishad says, Saha ikshata, he contemplated and created. The Taittiriya Upanishad says, Saha kamayataha, he desired. So, before what we said, in the previous paragraph it said, he thought, let me be many. And now Swamiji is giving that this is exactly what is given in Aitreya Upanishad and Taittiriya Upanishad. In Aitreya Upanishad he said, Saha ikshata, and in Taittiriya Upanishad, Saha kamayata. He desired, and what? The Panchadashi describes two types of creation, the Ishvara Srishti and the Jiva Srishti. The former is born out of plenitude, the latter out of need. The former is born out of joy and freedom, the latter out of need and bondage. Now you determine as where you want to sit. You want to sit in a creation which is born out of need and bondage and attachment and identification, or you want to sit in the creation which is born out of joy and completeness. Both are expressing at the same time. You want to take the position of the wave, or you want to take the position of water. Both are possible at the same moment. If your attention is on the limitation, you are the wave. If your attention is on the totality, you are the ocean. How do you orient yourself? What do you consider yourself to be at this moment? Swamiji, this is too much, this is very difficult. Individual. Sabotage, straight sabotage. Of what? Sabotage of your own happiness. How? By coming to the conclusion it is difficult, that it is hard, that it is not possible, that the world is becoming a problem. I think the world is not wanting me to be realized. Blame the world. Here we are telling you are everything. Take full responsibility. The Ishvara Srishti is born out of plenitude, and the Jiva Srishti is born out of need. The Ishvara Srishti is born out of joy and freedom, and the Jiva Srishti, the individual creation, is born out of need and bondage. Need and bondage, attention seekers. The Paramatma associated with Ichha Shakti is called Shiva. This power of Shakti is not a bondage for the Paramatma. So Ichha Shakti here is in the universal sense, because without that Ichha Shakti, Saha Kamayata, Ichha. Ichha means desire. Shakti means power, the power to desire. When the Paramatma desires, let me be many, he appears to be many without losing his oneness. And therefore, he is not subservient to the Shakti. He is not a slave of the Shakti. He is not attached to the Shakti. He is just that Shakti is in his inherent potentiality. He is just invoking it. He doesn't feel that Shakti is separate from me. The Paramatma associated with Ichha Shakti is called Shiva. So with reference to Shakti, that Paramatma is called as Shiva. We saw that in the first chapter of this book. Paramashiva, that Paramashiva, when we invokes his Shakti with reference to Shakti, he is called as Shiva, or in other words, Ishvara. And what is the status of Shakti at this moment? The Shakti has not become activated yet. He has just thought about her, about his potentiality. Then the nature of the Shakti is Trigunatmika, manifestation and unmanifestation. Then the game begins. And what is that game? That game is nothing but the glory of that one. Because that one alone is appearing as two, or that two alone, the Shakti is appearing as manifestation and unmanifestation. So what is Ishvara and Shakti, Shiva and Shakti? They are the glory of that Paramatma, isn't it? Paramashiva. So what is husband and wife? They are the glory of the man and the woman. What is the consciousness and matter? Or what is the Purusha and Prakriti? Or what is the spirit and mind? They are the glory of the consciousness. A different way of looking at it. Now we are not against anything in life. We become the all-inclusive, all-pervading consciousness. Because we are that. We have never not been that. So now how that Ishvara and Shiva and Shakti, again the first chapter is some parts of it are being revisited. How that Shiva Shakti then expand. We will not go into that today. We'll look at it in our next class. So today the whole thing, Drashta, Druk Drishya, Drashta Drishya, seer seen, subject object. The self alone is the subject object. Self alone is the Triputi. Keep again and again falling back into this disposition. And as a result, what will happen? Whether you like it or not, vision towards everything will change. If everything you are, what will you run towards? If everything you are, what will you run away from? Then what can you do? Just accept everything as it is. What do you mean by accept everything as it is? Just like the mirror. Accept everything, reject nothing, retain nothing. So in this manner, contemplate. We'll conclude here for today and hopefully see you, some of you, at the Gita Havan at 2 o'clock. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om. Hare Om.